basically an atheist.
I guess, I mean, it's for that claim, yeah, I guess, I mean, it's for everything for the most part so far,
Really
yeah.
simple. Like, do you believe that God exists? Yes, you're a theist. Do you believe that God could exist, but you're not sure? Agnostic. Do you believe that God doesn't and cannot exist? Basically an atheist.
You realize that the position of atheism can depend on what God we're talking about and what properties it has, right?
Well, no, but we're talking, no. It's totally cool. I completely understand. If you wouldn't mind letting us, 1 second. It's the reason I have a hard time even considering this is my hang up, and I don't mean to be dodgy, because it's like for me, where I'm at right now, you asked where am I at? This is probably the best way, and I don't mean to be dodgy, I promise I'm not. It's like religion to me is like politics. I look at it, what everybody's saying just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's not that I believe it or I don't believe it. I just don't even feel like it has.
You
it's
just
even.
said you believe that it's impossible for the Christian God to exist. What's your fucking argument for that?
Here we go.
So
it's impossible.
So it's really. I'm going to answer this guy's question, please. So it's really difficult for me to even wrap my head around even caring about this stuff. Much like politics, and much like.
Stop talking about your fucking feelings and produce an argument.
I'm not. We're just having a discussion, dude. I don't know why you're coming at me aggressively.
Calm down, sir. Thomas, did you hear him? He claimed that it's impossible.
This guy's a good manipulator, yo.
Yeah, but he's look, no offense to you, Jason Friedman, I don't know who changed your name. Regardless, I don't think he's a very interesting target for that type of conversation, which was why I just wanted to talk to him about his belief and not the belief.
Just have him stop making claims. If he just wants to talk about his feelings, I better not hear any more claims come out of his fucking mouth.
I mean, I asked the question specifically, so don't really think of him as making the claim out of nowhere. It was a direct answer to a pointed question.
I mean, the difficulty I have, you asked specifically about, okay, so do you view that God as a benevolent God?
Me or her?
No, you, the person who I was having a good conversation with.
Benevolent, yeah.
Then it's really difficult for me to see a benevolent creator that is interacting with people on a daily basis to the way that it was described to me. That's all I know.
You have a limited, fallible, finite mind, sir. How do you know God doesn't have morally sufficient reasons for allowing the evils in the world that exist?
That must be demonstrated
You don't have
through the
access to
prevention of
God's
a greater
reasons.
evil.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm fallible and insufficient and a fucking ape. I mean, that's great, So yeah. So
that's you're offering an argument for as a defeater or a response to your reason for not believing in God.
I don't really. It's not so much a reason. It's just I just don't.
Wait, are you conceding that your reason for not believing in God, at least the one that you've offered thus far, is dumb or doesn't work?
Am I saying that the reason I don't believe in the God that was presented to me is because the God is dumb or doesn't work?
No. Are you conceding that the reason you've presented thus far is not a good reason for not believing in God?
Right, so we're going to pretend that Christians and Muslims have a good reason to demonstrate how their God, through the suffering,
of course.
More suffering.
I don't know why
they have a good case for that.
I mean, I asked him a direct question, and this other bitch responds, I'm not sure why.
Hey, careful.
Look.
Be careful.
Sorry.
Be careful with who you call a bitch.
Does he identify as male? My apologies. The dick responded. There we go.
Look, if the Christian God existed, then he would have morally sufficient reasons for allowing the suffering that we see in the world.
Okay, what?
So it's not God being supposed
suffering is a motivator.
So it's not a reason
suffering is a motivator.
There being
what's
evil
the
in the
greater
world isn't a
suffering that
reason
God
to
is
not
preventing?
believe.
What's the greater suffering that God is preventing by, creating the universe in some way?
Oh, but that's the fun of the response, right? You don't actually have to give a reason, right? Or like some type of morally sufficient reason for doing something. You just have to posit that it's possible.
You don't have access to God's reasons. Why would you have? If the Christian God existed, I wouldn't expect to have access to all his reasons for all of him doing things. That doesn't mean they don't exist.
Exactly. So her not giving you an actual reason for why he would allow suffering doesn't matter. She doesn't have to give that.
These atheists, they're like babies, right? When you give a baby a vaccine with a needle, and the baby's looking and screaming, "Why would you do that to me, my mean doctor?"
Honestly,
can't think of a
honestly,
reason.
I need to talk to Joe
That doesn't
Sunseed
mean there's not a
more.
fucking good reason for doing it, retard.
I need to talk to Sunseed more about the problem from evil. But like honestly, I don't find it convincing anymore. I used to think about it a lot, but it just doesn't seem like a strong argument anymore to me.
But if I was all powerful, I wouldn't subject them to that though. I mean,
What's
Yeah,
up, y'all?
if you were all powerful, you would, nullify the need for a vaccine in the first place.
no,
Maybe
but
it's
I mean, the
reason
question
for why
is
you
God,
want the
is
vaccine.
God all
Wait, that
loving
doesn't
and
follow.
all
That
powerful?
doesn't fucking follow at all. Being all powerful, somebody being all powerful doesn't mean they wouldn't have any reason to do anything.
Right, but then
Actually, Jason, I agree. But
if
if I'm also all loving
No,
alongside
you're just
being all
fucking wrong about that, dude. I'm not
Look,
talking
in
to you.
order-
No,
well,
no, hold on. Godless, hold on. Let me talk to this guy. You being fucking that's not a good reason at all. That doesn't follow. That argument doesn't make any sense. God being all powerful, he doesn't have to explain fucking anything.
I
It's
could
not
be
just
all
all
powerful and
powerful.
not be all loving, though, right? And be
Exactly.
like, well, but if I'm all powerful and all loving, and I still allow this
Does
kind
all
of
powerful
suffering
mean
to
all
happen.
capable? Because in my definition, it does.
Look, I'll say it again. If I'm all powerful and all,
If God is all capable, then he is capable of love.
The third qualifier is omniscient, so he's everywhere at every time, right? Like if God isn't omniscient, he can be all powerful.
Oh, that's
and all good,
omnipresent.
Or he can omnipresent, but he can still opt out if he wants to.
But
But if he's omnipresent,
Jason, being capable of love doesn't mean you are all loving.
I mean,
You know,
you're also
you can-
capable of
you're
not
also
giving a shit,
capable
or you're
of
also
not-
Okay,
capable
that's
of
fine,
control.
y'all. That's fine. Do you have any evidence that God doesn't love you?
Yeah.
Your small penis, maybe?
Oh man.
Oh, we're aiming really high. Wow.
We didn't have to go there. I think this Uri Does guy is interesting, though. What are you, Mr. Uri Does?
Okay, Godless. Fucking Godless should come back and destroy this retard.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Who are you? What are you? What do you believe?
Yeah. So basically, I can't make a claim that like 100% like God as defined by Christianity or Islam like is not real. But I don't see any good reason to believe that such a God would be all loving and all powerful at the same time. I don't think there's any good reason to believe that this is the case. But I won't claim with absolute certainty that this God is not real. But I will say that I'm almost sure.
You said you believe that the God of Christians and Muslims does not exist, is not real. Do you want to say
but I could be wrong.
Probably doesn't exist, or you think he doesn't exist, but it's possible he does?
But
Yeah.
Thomas, even when I was Christian, right, I abandoned the thesis that God is all good or all loving because of certain Old Testament passages.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So here I'll post it. I forgot the specific verse, but
No. I'm not sure what you said.
Well, I mean that was my way to get around the problem of evil, but it was giving up on the all loving.
Sure. But
the only problem
you're gonna have to deal.
like God's default position to be good.
You're gonna have to deal with Matthew. Matthew 5.
God's default position is good because that's how it was fucking defined.
Yeah, and
But then
Thomas is
God
correct, right?
Right, even with the foreknowledge that it would fuck up his creation.
God being good is definitionally true.
It seems like God is there trying to.
But it doesn't mean anything though. Like your God could
Of course it means something. It means it's fucking true, moron.
Yeah, but I mean, let's stay realistic here. I mean, your God could literally torture every sentient being in the universe for as long as possible. Oh, but he's still good by definition. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Stop kidding around.
So
it means that torture is good.
It's not to sell the false image that God is all good. Why else create?
Torture is fucking good.
Yeah, fuck off.
God,
I mean, that's it.
Cock and ball torture is the best thing ever.
I mean, you could think that if you actually get some enjoyment out of it, if you get some relief in some psychological way of sorts, and and you're consensual to it.
Great, you're in your own position. How fun. Interesting.
Like, I don't know. Like, how the fuck is the guy saying, well, you know, like, what if torture is actually good? Like, how the fuck is this guy not kicked out of the server, like, just for saying that? I don't get it.
The server is a very interesting place. Why?
I can tell that.
Why would you think he ought to be kicked out of the server for presenting?
Oh, because it goes against like basically every action he takes, like every single day, every single decision he makes.
I don't understand how that follows to kick him out of the server. Can you explain that to me?
Because
this is stupid.
Intellectual dishonesty. Because
so when somebody's tortured and it saves 1,000 lives, you're gonna say torture is good. What the fuck is going on? Why is that so?
I mean, by itself, the only way you can justify the torture is by saying, "Hey, look, I can prevent even more harm."
None of this follows.
We're looking at torture by itself, dude.
Server. That's
We're
what
looking
I'm
at
asking.
torture by itself.
Why ought he be kicked out of the server?
Whoa, that voice.
Okay, Thomas.
Horrible. That was
Thomas.
horrible. Thomas, you should slap the shit out of yourself.
Answer that question.
Calm down. I'll answer your question, okay?
What's
hate
he saying
everybody.
the guy should be kicked out of the server for?
Because the guy said maybe it's maybe we could understand or just think about torture being acceptable. And he's like,
No, not acceptable, like good on its own. Like not even like some kind of lesser evil kind of bullshit.
And
like,
you
on
think
its
that
own.
that's ban-worthy?
He was offering that
Yeah,
as a
because it's fundamental intellectual
understanding
honesty.
the nature of God.
reason why
Wait,
is
you
God
think
tortured
that people should get kicked out of the server for being intellectually dishonest?
Yeah.
You're
What the
retarded.
fuck?
Well, you're
Nobody
so
would
dumb.
be here.
What is this?
No, I would be here. What the fuck? I'd be here. Number one. Number two. Yo, if people are kicked out for not being intellectually honest, you would be assassinated. Your level of dishonesty. They would have shot you in the face.
Wait, who? Because like concrete, like I'm willing to concede that you're honest in your position, even though I disagree with you in some ways, right? I mean, if you're consistent in your behavior,
Look,
I'm willing
no
to
need to elaborate. No need to elaborate. So the whole point is very simply, torture can be a good thing if it saves 1,000 lives, right?
Only for
I mean, it depends
concrete.
how much torture.
If we were to
honestly,
torture someone, get some information that was used to save 1,000 lives, you'd say, hooray, torture.
No, I wouldn't say hurry torture. I would say, well, not doing it would lead to a worse outcome. So
you say, oh my God, I can't believe we tortured this guy, and his information
I mean, yeah,
provided
it's still messing up to
saved
have to do
1,000
it.
lives. You lament the torturing of a bad guy to save 1,000.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're a piece of shit.
The difference is that I would lament not
He's
doing
just
it even more.
contradicting himself.
No, because I would lament not doing it even more, but I'd be like, for fuck's sake.
Doing
like,
the thing that would save 1,000 people would be good, right?
Well, obviously it's the lesser evil, so you have to go with that.
Yeah,
doesn't
so
mean
it
I'll
would
have
be
fun
good,
doing
right?
it.
To
Alright,
save 1,000 people.
It doesn't mean I'll
the
fucking
thing that
cheer
would
to
save
it.
1,000 people would be good.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I'll cheer to that.
Yes,
You just agreed to that. Now you're contradicting yourself, sir. You're
No.
being intellectually dishonest.
Get him,
Oh
Godless.
my God. Godless, you're a cunt.
You said that it can't be good. Torture can never be
Godless?
good. Now you're saying,
Godless?
yeah, it would be good.
Godless,
Fucking
you're being a
idiot. You're an idiot.
You did contradict yourself though, right?
No, I didn't, because I didn't.
Remember how I said that
You're
you're
denying that you just contradicted yourself. You're being intellectually dishonest. Should I ban it?
That's dishonest.
Should I ban you, sir?
Godless. I said his level of intellectual dishonesty would lead to his assassination. Actually, his fucking execution.
Would you fucking cheer to your kid being brought to the dentist because like not getting your kid to the dentist will make it, his life worse otherwise? Like, no, you wouldn't cheer to that, but you're like, well, I kind of have to do it, but it's not fun.
Sir, admit that you just contradicted yourself.
No, I didn't, because you want to put on me the idea that somehow would
Listen,
cheer for
are
torture
these
in
two
that
things
situation, and I
listen,
simply
sir,
don't.
calm down. Are these two things contradicting? Torture can never be good. Proposition 2.
That's not the claim I made. That's
In
not the claim
this
I made.
particular case, torture is good.
That's not the claim
Are those
I made.
two things contradicting?
That's not okay. The first claim is not one that I
Sir,
made.
no, before we move on, are those two things contradicting?
Yeah, but I didn't make the first one.
You never said torture, it can't be good.
I said on its own, like in isolation, like without, like if you can't justify preventing some greater bad with that, there's no way you can
You didn't
really see that.
specify that. You just stated torture can't be good.
Yeah, well, the example I illustrated previously was like, well, your God could literally torture every sentient being in the universe.
Dishonest.
No, because the basic example was, hey, look, your God could literally torture every sentient being in the universe for as
It
long as
doesn't
possible.
matter what the example was. You stated
And
torture
that-
can never be good.
No, I didn't.
No, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I
You've
didn't.
literally got
It's
6 people
recorded,
saying you
sir.
did.
No, I didn't.
You've got 6 people
Wait,
saying
hold
you did.
on.
It's recorded.
He might hold on, Godless. He might be appealing to. He did not say that verbatim, but it was definitely implied.
Yeah.
When he says I didn't say that, he might be saying I did not say that verbatim.
So you're just gonna deny the fact that say yeah, torture on its own, or the fact that I
And
presented a
concrete, wouldn't you
situation where
say that's
every
intellectually
sentient being in the
dishonest?
universe would be tortured for as long as possible,
Yeah.
without that preventing some greater harm in this equation? You're gonna pretend I didn't say that? Right. Okay.
It's just a fallacy.
What did he say?
He says it's a fallacy.
What's a fallacy? What is a fallacy?
I didn't use the word fallacy. I don't know why someone is putting that on me.
Yeah, you did. That's what you said.
Oh, this guy's a clown.
It's basic.
When did I say fallacy?
Now he's just trying to pretend because he got humiliated and destroyed. He's trying to
No, I
pretend
didn't.
now.
What the
Yo,
fuck
He's
bro,
gonna
are
start
you
trolling, right?
Hold on.
He's
Bro,
gonna
are
start
you from
trolling, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, I was just trolling the whole time,"
Yo,
so it doesn't look
no,
like he was
what?
humiliated and destroyed.
Send me a fucking recording of me saying fallacy like 1 minute ago. I didn't.
Yo, bro, are you from politics? Just be honest. What server are you from?
One of the servers in which Godless posted her link before getting the fuck out.
So you never go to politics where Newbie's the owner?
I don't even know what. I don't go to any politics server. I don't know what server you're talking about. I'm serious.
Okay, you
No,
sound
I'm
familiar.
not seriously, I'm
Are you
serious.
from Calliopean Club?
Why is it?
I have no mutual servers with him, so I don't think he's from anywhere.
Do you ask me that because there are many trolls that come from
Your
the server
voice
that bother you?
sounds familiar.
He's from straight epistemology.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, I am from the
Oh.
server.
Ugh. Huh.
Oh my God, those guys are pathetic. They don't even know what epistemology is.
They can't define it.
Okay, okay. So what? Should I care what you think about the community? If I'm just me being in the server doesn't mean shit. About
Wait, can you define epistemology?
Yeah, it's the study of the methods for us to acquire truth in a sense. So it's really looking at different methods
You flunked.
That's not epistemology.
You flunked.
I mean, fundamentally, it
Oh,
means
this
the
guy's
study
a
of knowledge.
fucking clown.
Wow. You
so
gave
you're
a
gonna sit there
definition
and
for
insult me?
heuristics.
So
You
fundamentally,
said
it
the
means the study of knowledge.
truth.
No, it's a philosophical
Study of
branch,
knowledge.
which
Study
is
of
a
truth.
theory of knowledge. It's a philosophical branch dealing with a theory of knowledge.
And how do we
It's no
acquire it?
study.
And
It's
how
not
do we
like
acquire it?
it's not like biology, like the study of humans. It's not the study of knowledge. That's just like
I mean,
you're
you can
answering
investigate
yourself with
different
itself.
methods to get to knowledge and see how reliable
Hence, it's
they
the
are.
theory
You
of
didn't even say
knowledge.
the study of knowledge. You said the study of truth.
Yeah. Wait, Godless,
Hold on, let's
don't you
just
think
grant
that
he
knowledge
got-
and truth are the same thing?
Look. Let's just grant he got close enough. And let's move on.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys are
Wait,
so.
how is that close enough? True.
You mentioned
Concrete, you
knowledge.
think truth and knowledge are the same
You
thing?
mentioned knowledge. You mentioned
I'll
knowledge.
remember
Let's move
that.
on.
Whenever Concrete rails someone
Capitalism.
for getting something wrong, I'm like, oh well, he mentioned something.
Capitalism has a hard on for me.
Stuff
And capitalism has a hard on for me, and he can't fucking hide it, right? That bulge in his fucking pocket is always gonna be fucking a.
Listen, I didn't want to
That
awaken the
3-inch
interpersonal
bulge.
issues between you. Like,
Ha 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 ha. Right, capitalism. Right now, I'm cooking some Brussels sprouts. Would you want some? You fat fucker.
could you please not get into arguing and maybe take this personal stuff out of here?
Shut the fuck up.
So, sir, what's your argument for atheism?
For atheism specifically? Like me?
Yeah, you believe it's more likely than not that no gods exist, right?
Not necessarily God, generally speaking. Like, I don't really I never really went too deeply into it when it comes, for example, to a deistic God.
Sir, I'm talking about any gods. Do you think it's more likely than not that no gods exist?
I mean, it depends how you will define those gods, I guess.
Like a
Obviously.
mind that created the universe.
I don't have any reason to believe that this is the case so far. Maybe I will someday.
Well, you're dodging the question, sir. Do you think it's more likely than not that no gods exist?
I don't know. I just don't have any reason to
Oh,
believe
so
that
you're
it is
just
the case.
totally on the fence about it. You don't like lean towards no. I don't think that a mind created the universe. Just roll the dice. Just roll. If you had to put your money somewhere, just roll the dice. That's what you're saying. You're being intellectually dishonest, sir, because you're afraid to make a fucking claim because you can't defend your fucking position.
I mean, if we're talking about
We
some
terminate-
God that specifically cares about her sex life and stuff like that, that's definitely making more assumptions that need to be backed up.
I just defined God as a mind that created the universe.
Hold on.
Do you think most likely a mind created the universe, or most likely a mind did not create the universe?
I don't know. I just don't have any reason to
Yeah,
believe
Hold
that.
on,
you're
Godless,
being
I got a
intellectually
question.
dishonest. You're
Why
claiming
do you
just
want
totally
to-
on
Hold
the
on.
fence about it.
Wait. I got a question.
Force me into fucking position. Atheism just
Why are you
means I
scared
don't.
to take a fucking position,
He's
bitch?
just trying to make you be honest, you dumb.
Douglas, I think in
Yeah,
life-
I'm being honest.
Hold on.
You're
I got a
just
question.
screaming at me for being honest.
No,
You're not being honest. You lean. I know
fucking
that
bitch.
you lean towards that not being true. At least a little bit.
I lean
But
towards
you're
that.
scared
I lean
because you
towards
can't
that.
defend your position. You're scared to be honest about what your position is.
Can I-
You're
Wait,
a
hold
fucking
on.
pussy.
I got a question for Clown. Clown, wait 1 second. So you were saying
My name's Doritos.
Clown, 1 second. You
My
were
name's
making.
Doritos.
Oh, what? What is your name?
Eurytos.
Eurytos. You
I'm
were
just-
making the snide remark that the God that cares about your sex life. Do you think that your sex life is so inconsequential that God should not be concerned with your?
No more than how I sit when I take a shit.
Okay, great. So taking the shit is very important, but how you sit during taking the shit is not important. Are you saying that your sex life is not?
No. What if?
Are you saying your sex life is not important?
I mean, it's important to me and how it affects all the sentient beings that I interact with when it comes
So if it's important to you and important to every other human being, why
Well,
shouldn't
not
God
every.
be concerned?
I don't think.
Why?
people-
1 second. Calm down, bro. Why shouldn't God be concerned about your sex life if it's important to you and every other human being?
Well, that's
I mean, people care a lot about a lot of things that
Look, just answer my fucking question. Why shouldn't God be concerned with your sex life if it's important to you and every other human?
I mean, that would imply that God
It
fundamentally
doesn't necessarily
cares
mean
more
God
about what sentient beings.
You can answer the fucking question.
Never. Fucking so hard.
concrete, like I'll try and I'll give it a shot, man. Like it might be true that God has opinions on sex, but that doesn't mean that he like lays out rules. I mean, you can make the same argument for like food, and there's a bunch of shit in the Bible about like what food you're supposed to eat. When.
Yeah,
What does God do about his opinion? What does God do about his opinion?
Diablos.
I mean, people have many different opinions.
Are you
God is
better-
not a person. Sorry, God is not a person.
For example, concrete.
I
like
wasn't
if
saying that. I was just saying.
for concrete, for example, if you eat fish on the Sabbath, you're like a worse Christian than if you don't, right? Similarly, if you take it on the ass, are you a worse Christian?
That's irrelevant. I don't know why you're dodging from my original
I
question.
actually genuinely think the idea that like God wouldn't care about someone's sex life is very silly, because the whole creation of sex, you know, supposed to be tied to this union between a man and a woman, is very important to God, because it's number one, it's how you can relate to and understand your relationship with God, and it helps procreate, helps fill the earth with more people, which is something God desires. Those are things that he wants, and it's like sex for a sexual relationship.
Well, if we agree
Those
that God
extra assumptions
has sex,
have no
where
reason
can you
to
then
think
make
that.
the step to say that God like wants a specific type of sex?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you suggest that God wants you to fuck a certain way, right? Like,
No, there's nothing in the Bible that